Please subscribe to Systematic Concepts channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of my video regularly. Thank you.
Welcome students, welcome to the channel. In this video we will take classroom discourse, which is called Kaksha Pravachan or Kaksha Kaksh Sambhashan in Hindi. Classroom discourse is a kind of activity wherein the language of the teacher and the student used to communicate with each other in the classroom. So it's simply an activity. Let's see the meaning of the classroom discourse. So this verbal interaction between the student and teacher had an underlying structure that was same in all the classroom, almost same in all the classroom. It can be oral or a written conversation between the teachers or students, but this concept of classroom discourse was a narrow-minded meaning. For the broad perspective or the current scenario perspective, we can say that it's an approach, and now it is a kind of realization of the students' needs in order to make the learning process more active and more interesting. So in short, we can say that classroom discourse now these days is a different approach wherein the student needs and students' performance is considered with main focus. Let's move ahead. The purpose of classroom discourse. So here, before we take the purpose of classroom discourse, we have to know the meaning of the word purpose, and it should be differentiated by the importance of it, because when we know the difference between the purpose and importance, it's easy to deal the particular concept, or it is easy to understand the concept. So what is the difference between the purpose and the purpose of anything gives the answer of the question why, or in other words we can say the explain the reason of its existence, whereas the importance gives the priorities one needs to follow. Here in this contained classroom discourse, the purpose, when we define the purpose of the classroom discourse, we say is that why it is needed to studied by the student, or why it is very important to consider during the classroom. So these are the purpose wherein we get the answer of the question why. And if we talk about the importance of classroom discourse, in that case we will give the order of the priorities which one should have to follow in the classroom discourse as a teacher or as a student. So this is the basic difference between the purpose and the importance. So here let's start the purpose of the classroom discourse. In classroom that promotes a value of discourse, student and teacher share responsibility for talking in carefully planned discourse based lessons. So simply it says that the student and teacher share equal responsibility of taking the classroom ahead or completing the curriculum, and for this they talk with each other. It is a procedure, it is simple activity which leads to the learning. Secondly, given opportunities for purposeful talk in the classroom, student practices developing and revising a new concept by explaining, reflecting, synthesizing and debating. So in second point it says that through explaining, these are the activities. First one is explaining, reflecting, synthesizing and debating. These are activities used in the classroom by the students through the teacher, so that they can get a purposeful talk and their talk remained within the content, near the content, which leads to a fruitful results. So these are the two purpose of the classroom discourse. Let's move ahead. The third one, The third purpose is, its main purpose is to invite all the students to think aloud and think critically and deepen their understanding. It means that it says that think aloud. Think aloud here means that they think in their mind related to the content whichever is going on in the classroom, and they express these thoughts to the other students. It is called think aloud. And when they think aloud, they come to know critically. They are able to think critically, which means that they come to know the plus points and minus points of a particular content, and this leads to the deepen their understanding, or and the result of this leads to the deepen their knowledge, more strong knowledge they can get. So this one is the main purpose of the classroom discourse. Next, classroom discourse engage students in academic conversation, which creates an environment that incorporate 21st century skills such as collaboration and communication. So first thing here is that classroom discourse engage students in academic conversation, the conversation which is not personal, which is not for a group or not on any other subject. It's simply based on the content, and this engagement leads to the collaboration and communication, which is important, which is very, which are very important skills for the students in the current scenario. So collaboration, they come to know how to deal, how to speak in a group, or they had a proper communication skill through classroom discourse. Next, in order to identify the talent, intelligence and excellence of the pupil, this discourse provide a creative platform. So it's simply a platform wherein every student, every pupil can express their thoughts, their intelligence, their talent, their experiences in a proper way, in a structured way, so that their learning leads towards the higher quality. So these are the few purpose. Let's move ahead for the importance of the classroom discourse. As we discussed earlier, importance tells about the order of priority one have to follow in a particular thing. So here are the few priorities which a classroom discourse should be considered, or these qualities should be from the teacher side or as well as from the student side. So first importance is that the classroom discourse, which can also be called academic discourse, promotes valuable sources of information to the students and improve their learning. So different information, different information they can get from the different students and as well as from the teachers, so which leads to improve their learning. Second, with it, the problem solving ability of the students will improve as they realize debate and disagreement does not need to equal argument. So debate is, here we structured a debate as a teacher, but it's a healthy debate, and arguments are also given and taken by the students. So all these procedures, debate and disagreement or agreement, leads to the problem solving ability of the students, which will make them more profound in their knowledge. Next, a deeper grasp of the knowledge being discussed, which gives inside and outside of the classroom. When the student gets the knowledge, deeper knowledge, they can go through to the inside and outside of the classroom. Means what they teach in the classroom, what they learn in the classroom, they can use or apply it in their day-to-day life. Next, classroom discourse sets a situation climate for the learning and transmitting teachers' expectations for the pupil thinking. So whatever the students are thinking is transmitted or is expressed by the students in the class through the classroom discourse. So here the classroom discourse plays as a platform for expression of the students' learning or their experiences. Let's move ahead. A few more importance of the classroom discourse. Working on understanding could not achieve through talk, which is correctly provided by the classroom discourse. So whenever when we talk, we achieve more thoughts, we achieve more ideas, more perspectives, which leads to a profound understanding. And this can be done by the classroom discourse. Next, it is one of the important because it sets in a suitable climate for the learning and transmitting teachers' expectations for their pupil thinking. So it's a kind of platform, or it's a kind provide a kind of climate or an atmosphere in the class so that teachers and students freely express their thoughts. It will reveal many points of view of the student to access. So many different perspectives, many different point of views come in front of the students in the class during the discussion, which will be fruitful for them. Next, representing, thinking, interpreting, expressing, reflecting, agreeing and disagreeing, and even debating and arguing, all are included in it, which brings freshness in the classroom. So through these activities, whether it's thinking or it's expressing or reflecting or disagreeing, all these activities lead a freshness in the classroom. It breaks the monotonous environment of the classroom wherein the only teacher speaks. Here everyone have a freedom to express their thoughts and grasp new things, which is good for the improvement of the classroom environment. Next, new connections with the previous learning in order to present the content a comprehensive and learnable rate. Whatever a student know previously is easily related with the new things through the classroom discourse, which make the learning more easy and more convenient. Next, to provide an opportunities for the learners to master their lessons contained through this process, which will bring learning near to the students. So in order to bring the learning near to the students, classroom discourse provides mastery to the learners in their content. And last, through this, a cognitive picture of what the content is valuing could be easily explained. A picture, cognitive means, which is related to the cognition of the thing. So cognitive activities, cognitive pictures of the content leads to the easy explanation of the content. If we picturize a particular thing, we can understood it more easily in comparison of listening it. So this classroom discourse provide a kind of picture to understand the content more easily and more smoothly. So these are the few importance of classroom discourse, which shows that classroom discourse is an important thing for a better classroom environment for the development of the students. So here we deal the importance. Let's move ahead. The benefits of a refined classroom. Here one thing should be noted, that the classroom discourse, here it is written a refined classroom discourse, which means that the classroom discourse which is excellent or up to the mark, which do not have any kind of drawbacks or any negative points. So such kind of classroom discourse is called a refined classroom discourse. So what are the benefits of such refined classroom discourse are expressed here through this flowchart. First one, it facilitates productive struggle. Okay, it's easy to understand. It's provide a struggle which is productive. Productive means it leads to some fruitful results. So classroom discourse facilitate a kind of struggle which is fruitful, which is productive. और इस struggle के बाद, after this struggle, it leads to the ideas and thoughts about the content. When you struggle to understand a particular content, you get more new ideas and thoughts related with the content. And when these ideas, more and more ideas leads to you, then you get the solution of the problem. Then it's a step by step process, and when you get the solution of the problem, this process leads to the revealed understanding or misunderstanding. So you get a clear cut picture, or you get a clear cut difference between understanding and misunderstanding when you have a solution of the problem related to the content. And after that, when you have a clear cut idea between what is understand and what is misunderstand, then a new strong approach developed. Then you are able to develop a new approach in your mind related to that concept, and after it increase the likelihood of the content. So whenever you construct an approach related to the content, this approach makes you more near to the content, and it increase the likelihood of the content, and the result of this leads to the develop strategies of future situations. And when you like your content, when you are familiar with the content, you can create strategies for the future situation. So whatever, if in future this situation does not be there, then what will you do? All these strategies was developed by a particular student related to the content, and in the end these strategies leads to deeper understanding, which is the ultimate goal of a teaching, that the student should get a deeper understanding. And through the classroom discourse and through all these steps, one student can lead to a deeper understanding. So these are the benefits of refined classroom discourse. Let's move ahead. The types of classroom discourse. So here, first one is initiation and response evolution, IRE. It's a traditional pattern of discourse in which the teacher asks questions to the students and then evaluates their understanding. It's a historical way of starting talking in the classroom by the teacher to the students, and that in a simple way the teachers ask a question to the students, and questions were answered by the students. So in this way they can start their conversation, and a classroom discourse started. Second is instructions. Teacher give directions or instructions, informative instructions to the students, and student responds to it depending upon the types of instructions. Informative instruction means कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल कि कल स्कूल में स्पोर्ट्स हैं, कल स्कूल में इवेंट होने वाला है या डिबेट होने वाली है, जिसमें आप इंफॉर्मेशन देंगे सिंपली. इट इज़ कॉल्ड इंफॉर्मेटिव इंस्ट्रक्शंस कि कल आप रेडी होके आइएगा, कल आपके स्कूल में डिबेट कॉम्पिटिशन है. So these kinds of informative instructions or directions given by the student, and students give response according to the situation. And then they had a conversation in the classroom. So it's a kind of another kind of classroom discourse. Let's go ahead. Third one is probing questions. Whenever the teacher asks a question or a thinking question to the students, and students were encouraged to give a longer answers through their thinking. So in this way teacher try to make a conversation with the students, so teacher come to know how much they grasp the content or how much they are not able to grasp the content. Fourth one is argumentations, and it's a way of question and statement form. Here the teacher challenges the students to justify his reasons. So in this type of classroom discourse, the teacher given a situation or a question to the students wherein the student has to justify their reasons if they agree on a particular argument, then why they are agreeing on that argument is to be explained by the students. So it's an argument based reasoning wherein the justification is essential, so that the conversation would go on long. Now in these days we are more frequently seeing last two types of classroom discourse. First one is probing question and argumentation, and in the previous history, in the previous years, or in the history, we see the first two, wherein the teacher are the main source of starting the classroom discourse. Now third one and fourth one is more frequently seen in these days in the classroom teaching learning process. So probing questions and argumentation is the two types of which are frequently seen now. Let's go ahead. Self-checking discourse quality. Now teacher should have a quality to check that if their classroom discourse is going properly or not properly. So here are the few questions which may help you as a teacher to self-assess the quality of the discourse in your classroom. If you get a negative answer of these questions, then you come to know that your classroom discourse is not up to the mark, so you need to work for this. So first question is the emphasis on giving the right answer rather than the process or the strategies. So first question is that the main concept of the classroom discourse is based on right answers rather than the process or strategies. So main focus should be on the right answers given by the students. For this, the teacher have to be familiar with the content, or she or he should have a command over the content. Only then they come to know that the answers are proper or improper. Second question, to the verbal interaction follow the teacher dominated initiation response evolution pattern. So here, if the in the classroom discourse, if the teacher is dominating the whole conversation, then it's not going to be a successful discourse. For this, initiation response evolution pattern should be followed, means to teacher initiate the content or the topic, and then student give the response, and again the teacher evaluate that the response was proper or improper. So this should be followed by the good classroom discourse. Third is the discourse carried by the voice of few where the others are reluctant to contribute. So in the class, not only the few students take part, for example the first benchers, or they are the brilliant students, only they can take part. If this happens to in your class, then it's not on a good classroom discourse. For a good classroom discourse, we have to involve all the students in the class. Next, do you often provide an opportunity for the students to lead the discourse? So as a teacher, this question is very important, that you provide an opportunity for your students to talk, to lead the discourse. Or every time you are leading, every time it is not good for the teacher to lead. Sometimes you're given a chance to the students. Next question, do you model and initiate wait time be used as a key component of the dialogue? So wait time should be essential, which means wait time here means that students should get a proper time to talk, or a proper time to think, to express themselves. For this, the teacher needs not to be go in hurry. For each and every content, there should be patience, that students are coping with the content or not. Next, do you send a non-verbal signs to the students based on the perception of their ability to give a quick or correct response? So non-verbal signs means when you give a hands expressions, or the eyes expression, or the when your body language expresses that particular answer is not good or particular answer is good. This is non-verbal signs. So these signs are plays an important role in classroom discourse, and for quick and correct response, these non-verbal signs play an important role. And last question is, does your lack of comfort with the content leads you to the pose more close-ended questions? So when the teacher is not comfortable with the content, or not familiar with the content, or not having a command over the content, then only close-ended questions were asked by the teachers. Close-ended questions क्या होते हैं? Close-ended questions are those which gives an answer of in yes or no. They don't have an answer of in explanation. So these types of questions are not good for the classroom discourse. And in this situation, teacher had to improve their content knowledge. Subject knowledge is essential for the teacher in the classroom discourse. So these are the few questions which should be checked by a teacher in order to make their classroom discourse a proper discourse. Let's see the conclusion. In conclusion, we can say that classroom discourse gives a best result when then there is a multiple answers which provide an opportunity for the opinion and imagination and controversy. Multiple answers honge when all the teachers are all the students are involved, then different opinions, different imagination, and a different healthy controversy emerge in the classroom, which is good for the classroom discourse. And it could be highly engaging way to learn if the teacher knows the content, student, and the pedagogy well enough to pull it off. So second most important in the classroom discourse is the highly engagement of a teacher, or highly command over the subject of a teacher, so that the student and the pedagogy means the subject, is well enough to pull it off. And then selection of a proper topic as per the age and the knowledge of the students will provide a suitable discourse. Simple. If the age and the topic is not suitable to the student, then there is no discourse happened. In order to make a proper discourse in the class, we have to select the proper topic as a teacher, and the topic should be familiar to the age group of that class, so that they are easily express their thoughts. And role playing and doing the actions in the class give a better understanding to the students of their expected role during the classroom talk. So when the discourse happens in the classroom, or we can say when there is a conversation in the classroom, main thing is role playing. They are acting like someone's character or some other thing, and which gives a better understanding, or gives a different kind of experience to the students, which is good for their learning, and which is fruitful for their better understanding. So this is the classroom discourse. So we can say in the end that students' answers to the progressively in the classroom leads to a proper curriculum, and classroom discourse engage students' minds and evaluate what the student know and what the student didn't know. So earlier researchers in the classroom discourse tends to focus on the specific teachers, but now, because at that time the teachers is the role player, and the questions asked by the teachers during this time was the keen base for the development of the student's skill or the knowledge. But now the scenario change. Now we can say that classroom discourse is not focused on the teachers only, but it's a healthy conversation between the student and the teachers. So we will finish it up here. Thank you for watching. We will meet in the next video. Thank you so much.
Please subscribe to Systematic Concepts channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of my video regularly. Thank you.